Welcome back to our channel. It has honestly been the longest time since we filmed the video. But anyways, today's video is going to be about everything that you shouldn't do if you are visiting Playa del Carmen or the area of Quintana Roo.
Before we get into it, please give us a big thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed to our channel. You get your tacos easy.
Would I walk alone at night? Probably not.
There is a lot of conflict between the taxi union and the Uber platform.
In terms of actually moving down to the beach side, it's kind of difficult.
This is one of the best tips that we can share from locals' perspective.
So things to know about Playa del Carmen. Number one, it is only an hour away from the Cancun International Airport, which makes it very convenient to reach. Another thing to keep in mind is that the Tulum International Airport is actually going to be opening up, they said, between the end of 2023 to the middle of 2024. So that will also make it very easily accessible.
Keep in mind that it is Mexico, so the times can push it a little bit.
Yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Additionally, Playa del Carmen is actually one of the biggest cities in the state of Quintana Roo, and it is so centrally located. So if you are planning on doing a lot of traveling within the region of Quintana Roo, Playa del Carmen is honestly the best place to base yourself.
Something that I can say about Playa del Carmen, it's like it's not very authentic. It's not like the real Mexico. If you really want to experience the culture and tradition, it's heavily tourism influenced.
Yes, yeah, it's very artificial.
Are you buying me a hat?
A sombrero for my beautiful
what?
Mexican. A sombrero.
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 Sombrero. I don't think you need one. Not super authentic Mexico. If you are coming to Mexico to experience Mexican culture, you'd probably want to completely avoid Quintana Roo altogether. I would say the next closest state where you'll experience more culture would be Yucatan. Yeah. Another thing to keep in mind is the weather is pretty hectic. It's hot all year round. But the middle of the year is so freaking hot and it gets so humid. We're in October right now and I literally can't even have my hair down because it is just very uncomfortable. You'll just be sweating all the time. So if you don't like the heat, if you don't like the humidity, not a good spot for you.
Yeah.
Today's video is actually very special because it is our very first self-sponsored video now that we officially have a business online. Just this week we launched our online platform, we built a website, and we built 3 digital products designed to help you travel the area of Quintana Roo, to help you save money, to help you stay safe, to help you streamline your planning. If you want to go check that out, you can find everything at fortheroadtravels.com. Additionally, if you're enjoying our content, please give us a like, leave a comment, subscribe, share this video with anyone that you know might enjoy it, because that really helps us to grow our channel and to continue to share everything on this channel for you to enjoy Mexico too. So one of the most commonly asked questions we get all the time is Playa del Carmen safe? Well, we've been living here for 3.5 years together and I have never been in a position where I have felt unsafe. I feel free to walk around by myself. Would I walk alone at night? Probably not, but you've got to keep in mind it is a big city. Doesn't matter where you go in the world, you've got to exercise caution. Something you might notice when you come here is there is a very high military presence. They've got like their full outfits with big guns and everything. As far as we know, that is kind of to like monitor the cartel activity, but that's not something that you as a tourist have to worry about. As long as you're not getting involved with any of that stuff, you're fine. The attacks that you hear about in the news are typically targeted attacks between rival cartels, so nothing to worry about. Cops, something you've got to keep in mind is they tend to be a little bit on the corrupt side. Unfortunately, they're just not paid enough, so they try to supplement their income by getting bribes and straight up stealing money. So if you get pulled over by a cop, there is a chance they're going to ask you for a bribe. There is a chance they're just going to take your wallet and take money out of your wallet. So our only tip for you is don't fight them, just stay calm and don't carry too much cash on you. And our last point when it comes to the safety concern is scams are unfortunately a big thing here in Playa del Carmen, specifically in the tourist region. They're not really scamming the locals, they're trying to scam the tourists because that's where the money is. There's a ton of scams. We've written about them extensively in our guide. One very common scam in the grocery stores is you'll be walking around and someone will accidentally squirt ketchup on you, and then someone else will come in to try and help clean you, and obviously while that's all happening, they take your phone, they take your wallet, blah, blah, blah. That can be translated into the tourist avenue as well, where if you ever feel like you're just getting unsolicited attention from multiple people, keep your focus on your belongings, because that might be what's happening.
How to move around in Playa del Carmen? Technically, Uber is available in the region. However, there is a lot of conflict between the taxi union and the Uber platform. So our best recommendation is to do not use the Uber platform. We are not fan of taxi drivers here in the region, and this is because they are trying to scam you all the time. Even us as locals, they try to scam you, increasing the prices as they please. And our best recommendation is using the Radio Taxi app, which it's part of the taxi union. However, this is it's more regulated. You will be paying an extra fee to use the app, but what we like for that is the taxi drivers are friendlier than the normal taxi drivers. It's GPS control, which is it's kind of like a Uber app, but for the local taxis here in Playa del Carmen.
You might have heard the term Moctezuma's revenge before. Basically what that means is travelers' diarrhea from street food typically. So when it comes to eating street food here in Playa del Carmen, number one, we would highly recommend it because that is really how you experience the culture. The food is also typically really good. The only thing is there is a risk. When you are eating street food, you know, like hygiene is not always the top priority. They don't have access to clean running water. So while there is a risk associated to eating street food, we would always recommend just going ahead and eating it anyways because, I mean, yeah, it's usually very affordable, delicious, and
It's part of the culture.
it's part of the culture.
You get your tacos easy, you pay there, pay in cash. Usually you pay in cash, they don't want to take any card, so. You cannot come to Mexico and not try the Mexican street food. It's part of our culture. It might look sketchy for you, but to be honest, we can guarantee 99% of the time it's gonna be tasty, it's gonna be delicious, and you're gonna like it, and you're probably gonna get more. When to visit Playa del Carmen? It's a tough question to answer because this all depends on your preferences. The peak season is from December to April, is where the weather is pleasant and there's a lot of things going around here. However, we personally prefer the month of October because the weather starts cooling down a little bit coming to the winter season, and the accommodations are cheaper. You get the best deals in accommodations, tours, and there's not a lot of people around. So this is one of the best tips that we can share from locals' perspective, that if you want to visit Playa del Carmen, October is the best month.
In terms of where to stay, you definitely want to be staying on this side of the highway, as we call it, the fun side of the highway. If you do choose to stay on the other side of the highway, in terms of actually moving down to the beach side, it's kind of difficult. The taxis are going to charge you about $6-7 every time you want to come down here, and it does take time. So yeah, if you can be on the side of the highway, you would want to look at the 5th Avenue, which is quite busy, but anything kind of between the 10th to the 15th Avenue is ideal for you to stay. And then in terms of where not to stay, as I was saying a bit earlier, the other side of the highway could be a good option for you if you're staying here long term and you're looking for a longer term rental on a bit of a budget. However, there are definitely a few neighborhoods we would recommend you avoid. Number one would be, and Giovanni's going to help me with this, number one is going to be
Villas del Sol.
Villas del Sol in-house and
La Guadalupana.
La Guadalupana. Those are the three that you just rather don't want to stay in or even visit at all. It's not necessary.
And we're leaving here the 3 tips for traveling Playa del Carmen. Number 1, sunscreen. If you are going to use sunscreen, normal commercialized sunscreen is kind of prohibited. It's recommended to use biodegradable sunscreen and race-safe sunscreen.
This is one of the first places in the world where we are not able to use sunscreen, any kind of it. What happens with the normal sunscreen is that if we go into the water, a lot of it's gonna stay there. And at the very beginning, we will create a film at the surface where the light will not be able to go through. Let's go this way.
If you don't want to use sunscreen, there's this nice UPF shirts, so they're very nice. You can get it from Amazon. Number 2 will be where to exchange your dollars into the local currency, which is the Mexican peso. You will find a lot of money exchange hubs here in the region. In our personal experience, we have used Casa de Cambio San Jorge. They tend to have better rates than anywhere else here in town. And number 3 will be confirming the price. When you're buying something or you're getting a service, make sure first the total amount, how much you're gonna pay, and in the currency. Should be in Mexican peso, but sometimes they use the dollar, so we recommend confirming that before you purchase, before you get a service. It's our best recommendation. You're gonna get easy travel here in Playa del Carmen if you follow some of these steps.
We hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you've actually been to the region of Quintana Roo before and you can think of any other helpful tips for future travelers, leave them in the comments. You have no idea how many people you could be helping.
As Simon mentioned before, go and check our website for theroadtravels.com. Check our guide, we have a lot of information there, so you might need to travel and move to Mexico. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up, subscribe to our channel if you haven't subscribed to our channel, and that being said, we will see you in the next episode.
Hasta luego. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing.
Well, this is a top answer to question. No. Usually, no. Sorry,
My husband is very, very sexy, especially now with his aerodynamic hair.
Bullshit.